Hello, this is Gio. Hey, look what we have here. We have my old Wii console and my PS2 console, and I'm trying to hook them up to my newer Samsung high-definition television. Now, a number of you may have come across issues hooking up old game consoles to high-definition TVs. And the reason is because these old consoles use these RCA composite AV cables. And the newer TVs, most of them, don't have connections for these old plugs. And that is exactly the issue I have. You don't see any composite plugins on the back of this TV, just high definition HDMI connections. And so what's a gamer to do? You could either plug in your old consoles to older TVs with the composite connections, or you can get a AV HDMI converter. And that's exactly what I did here. Now this is I believe it's called RuiPuo or RuiPuo converter brand. Now I think you don't really see the name on this package because I think the manufacturer actually sells this particular converter out of different distributors, so RuiPuo may just be one of them. But let me open up the package and see what we have. Okay, so here is all the converter itself, which is right here. We have, it looks like an HDMI cable, a plug with the main, just the power cable, and just minimal documentation. So I have used AV HDMI converters before, but the thing that interested me in this particular brand is, well, mainly it's actually a switcher. I could plug in both my Wii and my PlayStation 2 into a single converter, and I believe this is the button. You can push this button to switch between the Wii and the PS2. But the other thing that interested me in this particular converter is that you could actually switch from the screen ratio. So you could go, this little button right here, you can go from 4:3 ratio, which is the old TV ratio for the old programs. They're narrower. And also the old games play on these, like the NES, etc. Also old VHS recordings would be 4:3 ratio. But the newer ratios is this 16:9, and that's the modern TV ratio. And the reason I like this little function to switch between these ratios is because my new Samsung TV has a little bit difficulty setting these, especially to the 4:3 ratio. It has the ability, but it's hidden in really deep menus, and I always forget how to do it. And every time I turn on my Wii or my PS2, I have to go back through the menus and reformat it to the smaller ratio. So let's go ahead and plug this thing in. So first I'm just gonna, let's see, it doesn't really have, okay, so that's input 1 and input 2. I think I'll put input 1 on my Wii. So we'll just go ahead and grab these cables here. It's just color coded, so red, white, yellow. And then grab my PS2 and let's see, red, white, yellow. Like that. And I already have my own HDMI plug there, so I won't use this one. I think my existing one is a little bit better, so I'll just reuse that one. So I'll plug this one in back of the switch right like this. I'm gonna later hide all these cables. It doesn't really go in all the way, but it doesn't really hide. Oh, by the way, a couple of things. It does have an on-off switch, so right now it is on. It's on the on position right here. And then the power plug for the unit goes right here. So we'll go ahead and plug this in. And now for the power plug. Now this plug, this cord for the power plug is not that long. So that's probably a little thing, a complaint about this. So we first plug this USB in there, and there's your plug, and then we just plug this in back of the unit. I think it only goes in one way. There we go. So I have to find this little extension cord that will plug into this. Okay, so I did turn off the consoles just to kind of start from scratch. The converter box is on. This is the actual signal from the converter box. Now if it is in 4:3 ratio right now, if I hit the switch for the ratio to 1619, I hit that and it should expand. There you go, it's at 16:9, and you can see it says that on the upper left hand corner of the screen. And then if I hit it again, it should go back to 4:3. And yes, indeed it does, and you can see it right up there, 4:3 ratio. So next, let's just keep it at, let's see, the input number 1, which is the Wii. Let's turn on the Wii and see what happens. So go ahead and power up the Wii. And yes, indeed, it's coming on. We go ahead and hit the A button. And there you go, that's the introductory screen to the Wii. Let's try the different ratio. Again, this is at 4:3. We'll go to 16:9. And there you go, it's 16:9 ratio. Now the Wii does have an option for widescreen selection, so this introductory screen can, it's a little bit stretched right now, but you could switch that if you want. But again, the output on the Wii is currently 4:3 ratio. So the only reason you see it stretched like that is because of the converter. So we'll go ahead back to the converter to send the signal at 4:3, and it seems to work just fine. Okay, so with the Wii still on, I'm going to hit the switch to input number 2, which should be the PS2. Now the PS2 is not on, and we get no signal. It is at 4:3 ratio. Again, I could switch it to the 16:9 if I want to, or back to the 4:3, and it seems to work pretty well. So let's go ahead and power on the PS2. Give it a second. And there you go. It seems to be working pretty well. Just the boot up sequence. Now I did notice this when I tested this out before. When the PS2 initially turns on, for some reason the screen, the display is on the lower right, and I'm not sure exactly why. But after you get past this introductory screen, I'll go ahead and hit enter. It tends to pop back in the center. I'm not sure what the issue is. I'm not sure if that's the PS2 or the converter box, but that is a little bit of a quirk to this. But we'll go ahead, we'll keep it in this screen right now and change the ratio to 16:9. And yes, indeed, it opens up to 16:9 and then back to 4:3. Perfect. Okay, so with that on, both the Wii and the PS2 are both on. So let's go ahead and hit the switch button and toggle back and forth. So this PS2, the Wii, it's basically instantaneous. There's a little bit of flicker, but you can go back and forth for both. So let's start up games on both of them and see what they look with this converter. Okay, here you go. We have the Wii on. We have Donkey Kong Country, and you can see it looks pretty nice. For the PS2, we have Tony Hawk Pro Skater. We'll go ahead and switch on that. This is Pro Skater 3, and you can see there, it looks pretty nice. I do have the volume on. The volume sounds pretty good. Again, that is going through the converter box itself. We'll go ahead and mute it for now. So we just want to look at the video quality, and you can kind of hear. I'll go ahead and turn on the music. And the quality looks really good. This is the Wii again, Donkey Kong. We'll go ahead and stretch it out. This game was not created for the 16:9 ratio, so it looks a little distorted, but it still looks pretty good. You can see some of the lines seems a little bit stretched, but the quality looks really nice. We'll go ahead back to the 4.3, and let's go to the PS2 and Tony Hawk. So there you go there. Let's see if we can get something that we could watch here. And here you go, this is Tony Hawk. I'm no good at this game. This is my son's game. But that is the 4:3 ratio. Looks pretty nice. And then the wider ratio. Again, this game was not designed for the wider ratio, but it still looks really nice. Back to the 4.3. And both games are playing right now, so let's switch back to the Wii. And there you go, back to the Wii. Well, it looks like this little converter box works, and it switches back and forth between the two consoles really well, and the aspect ratio switch works as well. So I'm pretty happy with this purchase. Now, if you like this video, please hit that like button at the bottom of the screen, and even consider subscribing to my channel. I'll have many more videos to come. Bye-bye.